Who am I? I'm the greatest. Who am I? I'm getting paid. Who am I? I'm so flagrant. Who am I? I'm the greatest. Who am I? I'm getting paid. Who am I? I'm so flagrant.
What's going on, Libra? This is Boss Bro here at your reading for the month of September. All right, guys, if you like this reading, please like, share, subscribe for me. Thank you so much. All right, Libra, let's get into your energy. So I'll pull from the Pocket Animal Spirit deck here. And then after that, we're going to go into the What's the News Tarot deck, and then we're going to pull some cards from the regular Tarot deck as well. Then after that, we're going to go into the Hard Truth deck, and then we'll close from there, okay? So let's get started. So we have here the Golden Egg. I got that for your energy. The Octopus for you, and the Beaver, okay? That's for your energy. And for the other energy, we have the Owl, the Deer, and the Lion, okay? So you guys are in a space right now where you guys have the mental knowledge and also the emotional knowledge as far as like, how to navigate situations. You've done a lot of healing. I think you guys are in a place right now where people are looking at you as far as like, a good guide or someone that just really is a good person to talk to. Okay. And you've been in the space, Libra, where you've been that emotional bridge in those connections. Okay. It could be with family, could be with friends. But the major thing here is, though, you don't want to lose yourself in these connections. Okay. And I believe that you ran into someone that you thought had more of that intellectual, understanding as far as like, how things sort of like, go about as far as like, just that understanding as far as like how to deep dive into like, conversations that are above the surface. Okay. I think you guys were looking at this person as far as someone to have that kindred spirit as far as like, someone that does the healing work, someone that understands how to go looking beyond, trivial issues and having, a mindset where they're not like, getting in a petty place. They're able to learn from other people in the environment. They're able to sort of go into situations where their mindset open to opportunities as far as like, work situations. Through deeper of a dive, you see that this person has more so the immature type of energy. Okay, you got the Deer and also you have the Lion as well. And I believe that looking at you guys' energy, you don't have to be in a space where you have to form heavy connections with individuals, especially if they're not really up to your standards. Okay, you guys don't have to like form that type of bond. And I believe that you guys are used to finding some type of avenue where you're able to sort of like have that connection, whether it's like on a a civil type of level, or rather it's like, trying to form something that's like, a little bit deeper in the friendship. But not everybody's your cup of tea, Libra. Okay. You don't have to have an emotional connection. You don't have to have a deep dive of understanding. If someone presents with the Owl, okay, and then you realize that they had this Deer energy that's more so has that maternal type of love and that maternal type of care, but it can be a little bit naive. It can be a little bit, like I said before, when it comes down to like putting in proper effort as far as like relationships. This person doesn't really have that like that type of understanding on how to sort of put their best face forward to like grow friendships or relationships. Okay, you got the Lion, so this person could have that prideful nature where they're not able to really emotionally connect with you in deeper situations. Okay, rather it be friendship or it could be a relationship. Or you're seeing that from family environments that this person here is very stagnant when it comes down to communication and also with really learning on interpersonal relationships in the proper way. Okay, this person, like I said before, they may present well, but every relationship that you see that presents well doesn't mean that it has to be a bridge being drawn between the two. Okay, and I believe that sometimes you guys can get lost in the shuffle when it comes down to finding a common ground with someone, even if they, like I said before, you have to look at your own personal standards, and it's okay to have your own personal standards, Libra, when it comes down to meeting different people. Someone could be in your work environment, and like I said, they're good as far as like having your back on a mental type of level, and then you have a good rapport with them. But through further, growth, and like I said, through further exploration with them, as far as like learning about them, they can have a lot of ways that are a little bit standoffish. Okay, the Lion here, in the negative type of form. It could be very prideful, it could be very standoffish, and they could have like a limited mindset when it comes down to like, really, being in their environment, and sort of like having a lot of their like, prideful, I want to say like bigot. I'm getting bigot in my head right now. They can have a lot of ways where it's like, very strong to sort of like, deal with, or very, the energy itself can be very limited when it comes down to like, developing the growth. Okay. And you don't want to lose yourself with growing with someone that's not really up to your standards as far as like, developing that core type of relationship. Okay. It's like I said, you guys already went through that process. You already went through that healing. You already went through that growth process. And with someone that's not really up to that same level of growth with you, you really have to put in your proper boundaries in the situation and not see, okay, this is what can possibly develop. Okay. Just because they, like I said, had that, that introduction, or that, that good standard as far as like, having it on a surface type of level. Sometimes some relationships need to stay on a surface level. Okay. When it comes down to it, our time is, like I said, when it comes down to investing with different people, you have to really look and see what actually makes you feel happy, Libra, what actually makes you feel connected. And if you have someone that you're looking at and it's more so along the lines where it's like, I'm just trying to like, get along, to move along, or I'm not trying to, put, you're hiding yourself in the situation on the interaction because you're careful not to, have this line sort of like go off. This person could be very impulsive too. Okay. And you're in the space right now where you're like, okay, you know what? I'm not trying to walk on the eggshells. Let me just sort of like be in the space where I leave this person alone. Okay. If this person is not really worth my time and energy, if I see that they have some immature ways, I'm not going to put myself, on a roller coaster ride with them on an emotional type of level. And that's a smart way to do it, Libra, because like I said before, you guys already know, what your standards are, what your emotional standards are. The golden egg has a deep understanding of yourself, and everybody in this world is not going to be for you. Okay. And everybody that you meet, any type of level, could be family, could be friends, or just someone that you saw. It's like, having that potential to probably date. And like I said, through further looking and, really going out with this person, you're realizing that they have some immature ways. Okay. They may be a little bit nurturing, but like behind that nurturing, atmosphere is a big prideful type of nature. Okay. They could have said some things that really rub you the wrong way. Okay. And the thing about it is, so from this golden egg, what are your red flags? What are your situations where it's like, okay, this is an absolute deal breaker as a friend, absolute deal breaker as like a romantic partner. Even with family, it's like, okay, this is a deal breaker to really, like I said, have this person on a closer type of level. We sort of have a good, healthy boundary and a family dynamic. Okay. You guys are no longer going to put yourself in a space where you're balancing everybody's emotional grid besides your own. Okay. And this is someone, like I said before, could be, like I said, very stoic when it comes down to like, dealing with their emotions as well. And like, you're trying to figure out what's beyond the surface. And this person really is not really even trying to take you on a ride to really understand how they operate as a person or a human being. Okay. This is someone that's like, well, you figure it out. Okay. Could have a very prideful type of level of energy that's like, really, present in your interaction with this individual here. And that's something that you don't want to like put in that bridge to work on a situation. Okay, if someone's really pushing back towards the interaction, Libra, you have to look at it from a longer in-depth perspective to say, okay, you know what, I'm not going to force my hand in our interaction or to make you feel comfortable when I know that this is something I don't want to really work on or invest in anyway. Okay, let's get further into the reading with the What's the News deck here. Let's see what we're going to pull from there, and then we're going to go into the tarot deck as well. So we got Fuego that came out in the reverse. Okay. So we had doing the research, learning, getting insight. We have winding down in the reverse. Okay. This could have been someone that you dated, and this wasn't really okay. You got rebound here. We got red flag. Okay. Pull some more cards for you here. Oh, let's see here. Roller coaster. Okay. So this person, like I said before, can have you on a roller coaster ride. And we got tiptoeing, okay? And then we got receipts as well, okay? All right, let's pull from the tarot deck as well, too. Let's see here. So we have the Knight of Swords, we got the Magician, we got the Five of Wands, all right? The Hangman, so the Four of Wands in reverse. Then we also have the Ten of Wands. Okay, all right, let's get started. So this could have been got Fuego, and then we also have reading up. This could have been like a romantic connection that was very short lived. Okay, and you guys are just looking at the situation where it's like, you know what, I'm not trying to like build upon this relationship. This interaction is a little bit toxic. Okay, so we got reading up, doing the research, learning more, gaining insight. Okay, so you gain insight with this individual and realize that this person is not really your type. This person is not someone that you want to really invest developing further interactions with. Okay, because like I said, through whining and dining, you're realizing this person could be sort of tied to something in their past. Okay, and you realize that this person could have you in a rebound type of situation. Okay, they could have have their mindset really set on just like unhealed behavior. And you see like a lot of red flags. Okay, warning signs, taking heed, risky situation. You're seeing this person as a risk. Okay, they could have a little bit of narcissism going on too, as well, or just having some emotional immaturity in the situation. Okay, and you're seeing that this person, okay, that has this prideful type of energy, and they also, like I said, with this pride, they have this level of immaturity where it's not something that you can really grow or feel balance in. Okay, we have the roller coaster card that just came out. This will have you on this emotional roller coaster going up and down. Okay, you don't know how to really place yourself because this person will go from one extreme to the next. It'll go from being stoic, okay, and then being over the top, okay, not looking for you to nurture them, looking for you to be that maternal figure. And Libra, you can't do that, okay? You don't need to balance yourself in situations where you're not going to be at your healthiest mindset or your healthiest well-being. Okay, like I said, you're just sort of like tunneling through. That's what that Beaver energy can go through. Just tunneling through a situation, even though it's not for your best of good, even though it could have you drained. Okay, when you have something that takes you down a roller coaster type of avenue, then that's something that's going to have you tiptoeing in the situation. Okay, walking on eggshells. Okay, avoiding getting caught, acting shady, sneaking around. This person, like I said before, could have had something dealing with a third party as well too. But I really think it's just dealing with also you tiptoeing around this person that's not really healed from their emotional wounds. Okay, going to be very much so an avoidant personality. Okay, so when it comes down to like really dealing with understanding them on a deeper type of level, they're always going to sort of withdraw from the situation because they don't want to really have that type of emotional connection with anyone. Okay, we got receipts, evidence, guilty as charged, exposed. I think the biggest thing that you're seeing for evidence is their mouth. Okay, you're seeing for them that their mouth sort of leads in the wrong direction. You can see that a lot of things when it comes down to like their core values are just really not aligned with you. Okay, and you're not going to put yourself in a situation where you lose yourself emotionally when you did all this work. Okay, when you did all this work, when you became that golden egg, that had you go into a deeper dive as far as understanding how you tick, how you go about mentally, as far as understanding, okay, the world around you, how you go about, really communicating with those, like I said, in a healthy way. And this person, I had you going back to that, that phase where you were trying to find an unhealthy balance in the situation. Okay, let's go into the tarot deck for the cards that I pulled here. So we have the Knight of Swords, we have the Magician. Okay, we have the Five of Wands. Okay, we have the Hanged One. Okay, we have the Four of Wands in reverse. We also have the Ten of Wands. Okay, so the truth of the matter is you're being blunt with it. You're saying that you don't want to work in this situation. You don't really want to work in the investment. And this person, like I said, may look at that as far as like, confrontational. But you're standing up for what you need to do. You're standing up for, okay, what you're going to invest in for yourself, what's healthy for you. Okay, because you're enlightened by this. Okay, you have the mindset to hang one here. You have that mindset to know that, okay, this personality type here can have me go through a lot of troubles. Okay, this personality type can really take me through the ringer, and you're not trying to put yourself back in that situation. Okay, because like I said, you've been through understanding of how certain personalities and how certain people don't really align with your core values. Okay. And the Four of Wands in reverse, that's double clarity. You don't see a happy ending in the situation. Okay. Like I said, even if it's like a friendship dynamic or someone that you want to invest in, in a work dynamic, you're seeing that they're just really not someone that you really want to have a deeper tie to. You want to keep things on a surface type of level. Okay. You want to keep things on a very, like I said, platonic type of interaction. Okay. You're seeing that, with a lot of investment, okay, reading up in the situation, that it's going to have you in a 10 of Wands type of energy. Okay. Not only would you be dealing with your own emotions, and not being processed in the proper way, you're going to be dealing with someone who's not even willing to turn on their emotions to really share with you what's going on, or having that emotional maturity to know how to deal with confrontation or interactions that can lead to, a lot of chaotic energy, as you sort of sort of press go on the situation and not really looking at this person's character for what it truly is. Okay. All right, Libra, this is your reading for the month of September. If you guys like this reading, please like, share, subscribe for me. Thank you so much. Looking forward to talking to you soon.
Who am I? I'm the greatest. Who am I? I'm getting paid. Who am I? I'm so flagrant. Who am I? I'm the greatest. Who am I? I'm getting paid. Who am I? I'm so flagrant.